10, Tom Brady. Tom Brady threw for 4,694 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. You know, as bad as Tom Brady looked this past season, I still did not count him out because I genuinely believe he talks to Jesus at night. I think he has full-blown conversations with the man upstairs himself. I mean, at some point you gotta say, okay, there's something supernatural when it comes to Tom Brady. But it looked like Father Time finally got a hold of him. I thought that his final year in New England, but then he goes on to win a championship his first year in Tampa. But this past season, a lot of the Tom Brady-esque throws that he usually makes and that he's made throughout his entire career, balls were going too high, they were too low, going into the dirt too often. I thought he had 9 interceptions. He could have had maybe 12 now that I think about it. Tom Brady says that he is retired once again. Hopefully it stays that way for real this time. The last time he said he retired, I didn't believe it, and he came back. So this time, I don't know what to believe now, but I would not be surprised if he decided to come back and play for one more season. So Tom Brady is number 10. Number 9, Justin Fields. Fields threw for 2,242 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 11 INTs. He probably shouldn't be on this list because he is a running back, basically. He looks more comfortable when he's running the football. I mean, the man rushed for 1,143 yards and had 8 rushing touchdowns. He is a running back, basically, playing quarterback. And he's another one of these quarterbacks that relies too much on his legs. And if the running game isn't going, then he's not going. The offense isn't going. When someone isn't wide open, he's afraid to pull the trigger and take chances. So this is his second season. He's going into his third. I don't know what Chicago is going to do. I believe there were talks of Chicago possibly getting Bryce Young at one point. I think I mentioned that in my Detroit Lions video. But either way, he's going to have to improve for whoever he ends up playing for, whether it be Chicago or somebody else. He's going to have to learn how to throw the damn ball. And that's what quarterbacks need to do. They need to go back to learning how to throw the ball from the pocket. And if someone like Justin Fields can learn how to master manipulating coverages with his eyes and making plays with his arm, he'd be unstoppable. A lot of these athletic quarterbacks would be unstoppable. They would be so hard to defend. So Justin Fields is number 9. Number 8, Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz threw for 1,755 yards, 11 touchdowns, and had 9 interceptions. It felt like he had more picks than that, but I don't know why Washington decided to start Wentz at the beginning of the season. If they had stuck with Taylor Heineke, they probably would have made the playoffs. And then they decided to put Taylor Heineke back as a starter, and then they start losing some games, more games. Then they go back to Wentz. I thought they should have stuck with Heineke. But anyway, Carson Wentz had a nice start that quickly came to an end because you started seeing him revert to his old self, turning the football over and making bad plays with the football. So Carson Wentz, is safe to say that he is a backup now. I think that he can still aid a team as a backup, but as a starter, I don't think that's going to happen anymore. So Carson Wentz is number 8. Number 7, Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson threw for 1,688 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. His first season, I thought his accuracy was absolutely terrible. This past season, it improved a little bit, but his accuracy is just not where it needs to be. I can't remember the last time I saw a young quarterback struggle with his accuracy as much as he does. He holds onto the football way too much. He doesn't know when to give up on the play. He'll avoid sacks, but end up backpedaling 10 or 15 yards backwards and risk getting sacked and putting the offense in a horrible situation, or risk fumbling the ball and having the opposing team scoop it up and run it back for a touchdown. I don't like to come down too hard on young players too much because I don't think it's fair to expect someone to come in to the pros and expect them to start dominating. But unfortunately for Zach, it looks like the people of New York are fed up with Zach and they're ready for a change. Who knows what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers is being an absolute douchebag about this whole situation. Just pick a team, dog. Jesus. But Zach Wilson is going to have to really improve his accuracy and make better decisions. So Zach Wilson is number 7. Number 6, Matthew Stafford. Matthew threw for a total of 2,087 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. It's safe to say that when you go back and look at the Rams season, that it was pretty much over before kickoff, just like Matthew's chances of having good production on the field. Matthew had bad games, ugly games, good, bad, and ugly games. Going towards the end of the Rams season when they won the Super Bowl, I felt as if his arm strength was kind of dwindling. He's 35 years old. He's getting up there himself. His age might be showing. Not a whole lot of good decisions with the football. And what am I trying to say here? almost interceptions, if that makes sense. Like, he almost had some would-be picks. So Matthew Stafford is number 6. Number 5, Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan threw for a total of 3,057 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. As a Falcons fan, unfortunately, seeing Matt struggle like this broke my heart. I thought that he was going into a better situation and he would have much success, but I was wrong. Watching Matt play this past season, it was tough. He looked uncomfortable, jittery in the pocket. He never looked settled. Even when he had clean pockets, he never looked settled, trying to force plays and make things happen, not taking care of the ball. Let's see, he had 11 interceptions and he also had 15 fumbles. Jesus. Yeah, so did a horrible job of taking care of the football. I saw him like, oh, well, he also blew another lead. Oh, really? I didn't know Matt played defensive tackle, defensive end, corner, safety, linebacker, offensive lineman, right guard, left tackle, right tackle, fullback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. I didn't also know that he was a head coach either, or offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. I didn't know that. I didn't know any of those things. So the Colts have released him. He says that he would like to go into broadcasting, but he still feels like he can play. He should be a backup. Father Time has clearly gotten a hold of him. So if he does decide to play, he should be a backup. So Matt Ryan is number 5. Number 4, oh boy, Russell Wilson. Russell threw for a total of 3,524 yards, 16 touchdowns, 11 INTs. I had high hopes for this team just like I did the Colts. Russell Wilson tried to be a pocket passer. I would say that was one of the reasons as to why he struggled so mightily. He didn't really try to play to his style, and his style is pretty much run around and hold on to the football as long as he can and make something happen with his arm. He didn't really utilize what helped him become Russell Wilson, which was his legs. And of course there was the stuff off the field as well with the Subway commercials. And what'd he say? He would make these videos, wolf blood or some shit like that. I don't know. It was just a whole mess. And then you got former teammates coming after Russell. So it was just a whole mess. Now the Broncos have that dyke, Sean Payton. So hopefully he'll be able to keep Russ in check and help that Denver offense become potent. So Russell Wilson is number 4. Number 3, Marcus Mariota. Mariota. Sorry. Marcus threw for a total of 2,219 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. I knew that this was going to be a train wreck as soon as Atlanta signed him because Marcus is too afraid to push the ball down the field. If he does push the ball down the field, the wide receiver has to be wide open. He's afraid to take chances, and he's more effective if the running game is going, so he can benefit off of play actions and bootlegs. His best games were when he had 20 to 25 passing attempts or less, keep the ball out of his hands as much as possible, and he would produce. But now he is gone, and he is with Philly, so he's their problem. So number 3 is Marcus Mariota. Number 2, Dak Prescott. Dak threw for 2,860 yards, 23 touchdowns, had 15 interceptions. It is time for the Dak Prescott era to end, and I think Dallas is going to do that. I haven't really been keeping up with a lot of the news that regards to the Cowboys, but if he hits CeeDee Lamb in stride up the left sideline against San Francisco, that's a touchdown. If he hits Michael Gallup in the middle of the field, running free, wide open, that's a touchdown. So he missed on 2 big home run plays in that divisional playoff game against San Francisco. And if he hits on those, Dallas wins the game. I'm confident enough that they win the game. But Dak Prescott, he's more effective when he's getting the ball out of his hands quickly, short throws. He's not the type of guy that's going to expand the field and kill you with 30, 40, 25-yard completions, hitting guys on like post routes and go routes. They have to be short, quick, intermediate throws. And when you get in his face and make him uncomfortable and have him throw on the run, your chances of forcing him to throw an incompletion or turning the ball over increases, because I don't think Dak has very good arm strength to get the ball to his wide receivers. I think he lacks arm strength. So Dak Prescott is number 2. And number 1, Kyler Murray. Kyler threw for 2,368 yards, 14 touchdowns, 7 INTs, no improvement in his game. This dude would much rather play Call of Duty or Fortnite and get paid millions of dollars. He still likes to run around and hold on to the ball too long. He can't dissect the defense with his arm. He's just quarterback play nowadays is just not what it used to be, Because it feels like I've been saying the same thing with quite a few quarterbacks that's on this list. But yeah, no improvement in Kyler Murray's game. But I think Arizona is stuck with him until his contract finishes up. Kyler Murray is number 1. So that is my list, my top 10 worst 2022 quarterbacks of the season. What's your list? If someone has a problem with my list, no, Justin Fields should be on this list. Shut up, it's my list. Please like and subscribe. That is it, and I am out.